Welcome. My name is Mark Anthony Dubose Jr. I was born July 4th, 1986. I want to say thank you for tuning in. Today, I want to talk about something that I was just sitting at a park, hanging out with my dog. This one here. And something just goes on that just happens that just makes me really think about life. Life so much. I don't know what it is. That's probably why I talk about these dogs more than I probably should, because they've been something to be able to get me into a better place and get to understand not only just myself, but things around me much better. There's something that goes on this planet that is just very fascinating. The interesting book that I read about the dog mirroring you that just really put a lot of thought in me today about the concept of what he's saying about how things are working in tune with each other. Granted, one's trying to eat the other. Like, so the main animal I'm talking about today is the squirrel compared to the dog. The squirrel is like a very interesting animal because it's only looking to get a reaction. I just saw amazing things today go on with working with this dog. And the fact that one squirrel will come out, it'll come close, and it'll start taunting the dog to try to get it to respond. When the dog doesn't respond, the dog just sits there and stares at it like, whatever. The squirrel's like, I need backup. So it comes by and it gets another one to show up. So now there's two. They're all just making noises, flipping their tails, sprinting and running. But there's one thing that they pretty much always do is keep themselves safe enough where they won't come too close to me. They have to stay close to the tree to know that they can escape. But then when they still don't get a reaction, you think they quit? Nah, they just double up again. So all of a sudden I've got four of them that are all surrounding me. They're all just running up the tree, going all around. They're waiting to spark this dog to just react. And once it reacts, it's like they got what they needed, and then they just move on. But you know what? She still just didn't react. She's getting really good now. In reality, if we're just sitting and hanging out, I mean, even we could walk dead at a squirrel at this moment. She just doesn't respond anymore. She'll look at it more than I want when we're walking dead directly at it. But if I'm just sitting down, she's pretty much just done. She'll see the squirrel 10 feet from her, just looks at it like, okay, little thing, I know what you're doing. And the thing is, they're looking to get a response. And when the dog doesn't respond, what do you think these ones did here? No, somehow, I don't know how it was, but like more and more just kept showing up. It was just amazing to see. It's like, dude, the one was just like, I'm gonna get it, but more and more kept happening. More and more kept coming by. More and more kept just trying to do their best to try to get this dog to just flip out and go crazy. And you know what happened when she just didn't? They gave up on her. And then they moved to the next tree, the next area to get the next dogs. And I can hear, I can hear the dogs barking, trying to run up the trees and going crazy. And it's like the squirrels literally have like they laugh about it. They get in the trees and they make this weird sound, and they're just like, this is fun, this is cool. That's just all that they're trying to do is get a reaction. But they're trying to keep themselves safe, so they'll do everything they can to stay safe. But they'll push and push and push just to make something move. And when I see that, that's just what I see that goes on with us as humans today with a lot that's going on around us. Things around are just trying to get you to just react, to just get you out of your norm of who you are, to get you to just respond. And then when the one doesn't work, they got to double up on it. When the double up no longer works, they got to just keep going and going and going. And that just leads me to question like, what happens when you are no longer a human being on this planet that is just living in reactive, living in my feelings mode, living in something can say something to get you to just move and do? Where do we end up in a situation like that? That's what in reality is my main goal, what I've been trying to figure out. How to get away from just living in reactive mode. That you hear some information and you're just instantly in this like you have to like do something as opposed to like just do nothing at all. To just see that what's going on over there and just hear how wild and crazy and how shiny and interesting it is, and just walk away like, oh, okay, like it's that's just that. It's nothing that's like that important. It's not all that great. You're not gonna just easily move me into wanting to be there. Because what goes on, it just keeps double and double and double. And that's just what I see go on today with what's being force fed to us. It's like there could be a fight and a battle and a war going on over there. And it's like, look at that, look at that. When that doesn't get you to move, then it's like, well, we got to figure out how to get that fight battle closer to you now. And then closer to you, and then closer to you. And then I'll integrate it to be into everything about you. Just to keep trying to push you and put more and more pressure upon you. To just make you fold so that you're no longer just, because what starts to happen is, in the sense of the animals, they lose total control. They're not listening, they're not paying attention, they just lose everything. And that's what's going on with us as humans, with what's being force fed, with everything that's going on around us. You're getting to the point that nothing, you can't listen to nothing. And the main thing that I just know for a fact that we need to start paying attention to is ourselves. We are no longer able to pay attention to ourselves. We're just in this reactive, like, I heard this go on with the president, now I got to do something about it. I heard this go on over here, and then I got to go do something about it. And going to do something, not thinking, like, am I actually going to something that gets dangerous with dogs. That I know on one of the trails that I, I'm still like, I'm always a little on edge because I see what these silly little animals do to the dogs. Is they'll taunt them on these cliff. This is like a 50-foot cliff right here. It's a drop straight to rocks and then the water. And the squirrel will stand in the middle of the trail and get the dog to chase it. And then the squirrel will go up the tree, the last tree at the cliff, like in reality, hoping that the dog is just going to jump off the cliff. And I'm just like, whoa, what's going on? And I've just seen that so many times. And I'm just like, these squirrels are literally trying to get the dog to end its life. And the dog is just so in reactive mode that it's running, it's chasing, it's going, that it's not thinking anything clearly of like, hey, there's a 50-foot cliff that's about to end my life. You're going to already be going down that cliff wondering like, dang, where did I make a mistake? But in reality, you're not going to even be thinking anything. You're just going to be stumbling into a situation that you're falling to the point that you're about to kill yourself in a way that you don't realize it until it's just black and everything is done, because it just happens so fast, because you were just living in just I gotta lash out without really thinking what's going on. And that's just what I see in reality when I watch more of this foolishness that goes on around in our day to day, is trying to get everyone to just get into this, don't worry about anything that's going on, but just worry about staying in this highly reactive mode, so that no matter what, you're on a moment's notice that one word can come to your cell phone and it will get you to do something. Who knows what yet, but to do something. And the more and more that you're influenced in a way to be able to just do something faster and faster, you've lost all control of anything that good and bad could happen to you, but mainly the good stuff, I'm going to say, because you're now responding with something else is making you do. Because that's what ends up with the dogs and working with dogs and most prey, the squirrels, the rabbits, the moles, all these animals. They're working back and forth with each other. And once one makes that move, the other one now has to make a move. Then another one makes a move, the other one has to make a move. But if one doesn't move, the other one doesn't move. That's what's fascinating about like this border collie in specific, and how he's able to move the animals to get them to do what they do. Because he stands completely still and he stares at them dead in the face and says, now you make the next move. I'm not going to move first. You're going to make the move, so that he could process it, to make sure that, not saying that he's the one in control, but he needs to be the one in control of what's about to happen, knowing that what it is that he's trying to do is going to be in the benefit of what it is that he needs to get done on this planet, not what someone is going to force fed for him to have to do. So he's going to stand there and get still and just stay and put the pressure on. And that's what most hunting dogs, that's why a lot of these working animals are phenomenal, people. They're just amazing when you watch them do what they're doing. Because the dog will just get to the quail and it will just stand there and it will stare at it stiff. And it's like, you make the next move. You're moving. I'm not moving. It's holding in all of its excitement. It's holding in all its even anger. It's holding in all its frustration. It's holding everything in. It's containing it to be able to get to a stance of just neutral, to just stare at what it's staring at. And it says, now the game is on you. Now you get to move. And that's the reversal of what's going on with us today. The reversal is something, the prey is forcing us to move, forcing us to have to make the next move first, so that when we're in that stance of having to make those next moves, being in that reactive mode, you're pretty much going to guaranteed to fail. You're going to fail. You're going to keep messing up over and over and over again, because you're not thinking through what's going on. You're just living in the defensive way of life. And you don't want to be living defensive in your life. You want to be able to live how to be able to make steps forward, not just making steps because something just said a word to you and just, oh, I got to go over here. Oh, I got to do this. Oh, I got to do that now. But doing stuff that is actually going to, for one, just the main thing I want to say is benefit you. And that's one thing that is just getting so complicated, is the more and more that we're living in this reactive way, the more we don't know who we are. The more we don't know what we like. The more that we just don't know nothing about ourselves. We're just quick to just move because of what someone has to say, or what someone's going on, or what's going on over here. We're just quick to just move. And the quicker that you keep moving, and the more that you're not able to just sit in, because the main, I guess, emotions that I want to say there, that I want more people to understand how to be able to sit and marinate in the longest, is that frustration and that anger. You need to be able to sit in that frustration and anger and just be able to know how to just see it. It's there. I'm angry. I'm angry. I'm angry. And do nothing about it and just sit back and just hang out and just chill. When I see that, the dogs do that, I saw that today in this Dalmatian, that it just fascinated the all heck it be out of me. That I just want to sit. I'm gonna have to record this. You can just see it. But all of us have this to be able to see in our dogs. But the more I keep working at it, the better and better and better that she gets. The better and better that she could see this frustration, which is, who knows if it's angry or not. I don't know if the dog is angry. In my opinion, sometimes when I see them looking at certain animals, they look pretty angry, man. They're like trying to chase it, trying to get it, and they're trying to get it out. Like when we do, I've got like some rat hunting, mouse hunting stuff I'm doing out here now because I got a couple of them, and that's where I let the dogs do it. And the dogs, when they not looking at it like in reality, like this is fun. They're kind of angry at the mouse. Like I'm about to get you out of here. Like get out of you nasty, disgusting creature. And that's kind of how they look at like squirrels in reality. Rabbits is different. They pretty much eat them. I don't know if the dogs really eat the squirrels or not, but they're looking at it in this angry stance. But when they're able to like look at it and get that like that excitement or frustration or anything, any emotion, but mainly especially for us as humans, that anger, and we could just sit in it and know what that feels like and don't respond, don't react, don't do anything, don't make anything happen. You are now going to start gaining control back of your life, of understanding who you are, because you're not just going to be quick to just get out and just go do something. Because the faster that you are just reacting, the faster that someone is going to say like that's who you are, and it's not actually who you are. You're just living off of a reaction of what's going on around you. But who you actually are more than likely a kind, compassionate, caring, loving person. But you're not portraying any of that because something other there, something over there is making you get into this reactive mode that you're just angry, you're lashing out. You're on a video, just hate message, just in this like you can't hold it back. And the more that you keep putting those messages out and that language out and that energy out, the more that's going to continue to keep on coming back to you. And the more that you're just going to continue to keep getting further and further and further into a small little hole. The more that someone's going to be able to easily tell you who you are, as opposed to you reversing that. And it's something that I'm just gonna say, like the way I see it with how the animals are, dogs are, and everything is. This is hard to do. This isn't something that is just, oh, I just show up. But no, this is something you have to work on. It's a skill that you need to obtain. It's a skill. You don't just wake up and you're not angry no more. No, it's something that you work on every single day. That one time that frustration creeps in on you, you just stop. You sit in it for a second and then make a decision where I'm going. Allow it to just overwhelm you. Allow all that crap that goes on in your body, all the chemical changes. You start sweating. Everything starts going. Your heart rate starts going up. Just sit in it. And every single time, it'll get easier and easier and easier. And it gets slower and slower and slower to get to that point that something crazy is about to happen. That's how it's much, much nicer with this specific dog. And she just stuck on me with leash now because I don't need no puppies right now. And the easiest way for me to make sure that everything is going to be good is to make her stay with me, as opposed to the other ones that can get her pregnant to stay with me. There's too many of them. There's only one of her. But I'm working on her being to understand, being close to those cows. She don't really care about the cows as much as the chickens and as much as the donkey. I have to do a video prior with Oreo not being here because when he's here, everything's different. Everyone's always calm. But he's the one that keeps it all in order because he's not quick to anger. He's not quick to frustration. So he's a joy for everyone that wants. I mean, I just transform a lot of y'all's dogs by just literally sticking it next to my border collie. He brings this sense of like, it's okay. There's no reason to be mad. There's no reason to be angry. He brings this calmness that just it's addictive to the dogs to finally like get in the presence of that for the first time in most of the dog's life. And that's what more and more human beings need to get in, so that more human beings could be a nice, calm presence, so that other people could just be in that vicinity and just feel like, wow, something's taken care of here. I don't need to worry about it. I don't need to like, oh my God, I gotta die. You just straight up language. Just shut up and sit down. Everything's fine. Everything is okay. There's no reason to run away and lash out and have to say nothing and do nothing. It's calm, man. Chill out. Everything's taken care of. And for some reason, that's just not what's going on today. And that's used to be the main cornerstone of households and being in a family. Is someone in that family is that strong member that's just chill, calm. And that calmness is going to allow everyone else to be able to just, okay, it's taken care of. I don't need to worry about anything. Everything is going to be okay. And it's like we're getting further and further and further away from that. We're getting more and more, because this is the biggest thing, unfortunately. The biggest change that I've noticed in my short time of life so far. I've seen the differences of not so much of the women, but the men on this planet. How they're so quick to anger, man. So quick, so fast. Someone could look at you and say, oh, your hair is stupid, and just want to punch someone in the face. Want to pull a gun out and shoot somebody. Because you, that's the thing that Chris Rock made that joke back, oh my goodness, decades ago now. Someone smudged my foot, and you're ready to shoot the place up. Because someone stepped on your shoe, got your shoe dirty. You're ready to go quick to anger. And that quick to anger is what's just, my opinion, is causing most of the chaos on this planet right now. You're supposed to be able to deal with that anger. Just not express that anger. but use that anger, channel that anger to be able to actually help. And the way you're able to help with that anger is by not expressing it and not showing it. And the more and more that you're expressing, you're showing it, the more and more we're just going downhill. And that's what's going on with a lot of the silly dog training we got going on today. We're like expressing the anger out of the dogs as opposed to getting them to be able to be calm. We're expressing the frustration out of the dogs as opposed to get them to be just chill and relaxed. We're like trying to aggravate the all heck be out of them to get them to like do better, be better. But in reality, all that's doing is just creating more and more chaos because you're coming in with this high level of, let's go do this, and let's know, and punishing the crap out of the dogs, and we're supposedly rewarding the heck out of the dogs, and you're putting them in these loops that we're not showing any sort of like calmness, any sort of peace that everything on this planet is actually wanting to be into. That's what my cows, I don't care. We were living in drought. I'm surprised to see them this year. They took all advantage of eating what they could eat this year. They fat right now. They how I like them to look. Maybe a little bit more. No, they good how they are. They a little more, they might not, but the past couple of years, they've been lean. And we haven't had food because we haven't had rain. I'm surprised that there's still grass. There's grass growing. It's about to be August. I'm just impressed right now. I got a whole section over there still to be able to open up for them, so it keeps my bills low. Keep raining. I appreciate that. But they were lean. They were like done. And majority of people around here were having to sell their cows, not because they didn't have enough food, but because they couldn't contain the animals. Because they started getting stressed. They started getting nervous, started getting worried. And then I come out here and I show them there's nothing to be worried about. And these guys will wait on me for everything. They're just like, we're good. We don't need to run away from you, buddy. We want to stay closest to you. And that's what we're supposed to be doing with us as humans to other human beings. And I just noticed this like with a lot of farming people, man. They some of the most, not all, but they some of the most just interesting people to be around. That craziness goes on, craziness is happening, but yet they're able to just like, we'll fix it, we'll get there. It'll be okay. It's gonna be all right. We're gonna get it done. We're gonna make it happen. You know what's crazy is like one of the main thing here in the United States of America, what are we trying to shut and get rid of? Farm and farming. And it's taking away from understanding like the realness of life, of patience, of frustration and anger, of joy and excitement, of all of these things. We're not understanding these anymore as humans. We're only understanding, I feel like I'm happy or I'm like so mad that I'm ready to like hurt something. Like that's just what we're swinging from. We're no longer just in the midline that's just going along. You're going to be a little sad sometimes, you're going to be a little happy sometimes. It's no longer, it's like extremes today. You're either like, I'm trying to just destroy the world, or I'm just like, oh, whoopee, I just won $1 million and everything is just so great in my life right now. And that's just all that we're doing, going back and forth right now. And that is just something that is just destroying us, mainly because we're not learning the skills anymore of how to be able to regulate and just be calm and be chill. That we're have all these things that are coming at us. Granted, that's the part with me that what I saw how these squirrels are with this simple dog is like they are purposely putting the pressure on to get them to mess up. And then when they don't get it, they're like doubling down, tripling down, quadrupling down. They're just going more and more and more to get you to respond. But then what happens at some point, they're like, man, I don't know. It was almost like every squirrel in that area was on me. They were 10 feet from me, just all on top of me. And then when they still weren't getting what they were wanting, they finally just said, you know what? Okay, no, we'll quit now. But I'm gonna guarantee you, I go back again in 2 days and they're probably gonna try it again. But they learned in that one stance it didn't work. And she learned, wow, I'm able to just hang out. And then we watched everyone else just have this meltdown freak out. Everyone's yelling, everyone's dogs are going, man, dogs. I'm sorry, it's not funny, but man, they be pulling people, pulling people on the ground. Lady fell today. Last time I was out there, the dogs just pull out of your leash and they just take off, man. They gone. They gone. And there's just chaos going on and everyone's screaming and yelling and come back here. And it's just maddening that one little animal did that. But when the one can't, it's like, okay, let me double up. And it's like purposely trying to do that. And that's what's going on in our world. Stuff is purposely trying to get us to react. And it's for us to say, you know what? I'm better than that. I'm stronger than that. I don't need to pay attention to that. I could get through this. I could get past this. But it's going to be the hardest work. That's why for me, the whole thing that I always was saying with working with the simple dog that I see today as 100% proof of being able to work with my animal, to be able to get it to understand that now when she sees squirrel, even if she takes a half a step, I can say, hey, Ophi, she'll stop and I can say, hey, come here. And she'll just look back like, what's up? 100% proof is grab you a dog, grab you a leash and do nothing. You sit at the bench and you allow the dog to just go through all those emotions. it gets through it, it gets through it, it gets easier and easier and easier and easier and easier and easier. I do not expect it to be good in a week. I don't expect it in a day. I don't expect it in a month, and I don't expect it in a year. I don't expect nothing. I just know that at some point I and dog is going to be able to get the skills required to be able to get through this. And it's not going to be all that crazy anymore. You're going to see it come, and you're going to like, I know what to do because I now have the skills needed. I now have the what is that, the practice behind me to be able to get through it. You know, day one, something happens to you, and you always will get angry at something. You're not just gonna overnight just, oh, I just let that go. Everything's good now. No, you're gonna have like a buffer of some 2 seconds, and then the next day, 4 seconds, the next day, 10 seconds, the next day, you just blow up again instantly. And then you just keep building and building and building and building and building. But the only way that we get out of reactive mode, and this is just why I seen the chaos that's going on in society, is seeing y'all's dogs out there, man. Seeing how the dogs are and seeing the way that they are. And then when I started to get more closer to people, seeing these dogs crazy, to actually being able to get inside of your homes and talk to you and just straight up talk to you. No worrying about you're wrong, you're bad, none of that. Just let's just talk, man. Let's just hang out. I see more and more of how we as humans are the reactive one, and the dogs are just following our lead. And I'm seeing what's going on with that because something small happens and we just have to lash out. We're no longer working on the skills of how to get out of anger and how to get out of frustration. It's almost like applauded to get further into it. Oh, you're mad? Cool, great. Go make a video about it and talk about it and spread it to the world. It's like you got something bad to say about a specific person. Cool, just write it all down and just get all that anger out, girl. Forget all that anger out, man. Just get that frustration out and just spread it and share it to the world. As opposed to like taking a step back and just saying, hold on a second. Why am I angry? Because why should I be angry? Especially, this is the part that's starting to get dangerous. You're angry because of something that's going on the other side of the world that has nothing to do with even affecting you. And you're angry. It's got nothing to do with you, but yet you're angry. That's where I can see the pull. If things, next time I go back to the park, I'm going to see what these squirrels do to bring next. Are they going to bring ducks with them? Are they going to bring more birds with them? They're going to bring something extra to like, we got to do more to be able to get this, to be reactive. And that's just what goes on with us. It's not enough that, there's no eggs or milk in your store. You got a little frustrated about that. Now they're trying to do something somewhere else. They just pile it on, and just keep going more and more and more to the point that you just end up in a situation that you're just, I don't know what to do. Just helpless, man. Learn helplessness. The video I talk about with what we do with these dogs is what goes on with us. Learn helplessness. I'm never going to be able to, and that's depression, that's anxiety, that's where all that starts to come. Because you're in this, I'm never going to, I can't make it. No matter what I do, it doesn't work. And we're not learning how to actually understand the word I want to use there is emotions that go on with us. We're not like that's stuff we need to learn in school more than how to do 2 + 2. Is when you get angry, what do we do, Susan? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? We don't talk about stuff like this. When you get angry and you get frustrated, what do we do? And some stuff, dude, I mean, a lot that they would say to a lot of boys, oh, I go fight, go punch and hit a punching bag. No, you sit in it and you just deal with it. You don't go and try to escape it. That's all we're doing today is escaping our issues. And that's what's making us horrible, hard to be around because we're just so quick to just be so mad. You could be talking and have a great conversation and someone can say one word and you're like, I'm done with you. I can't stand you and I hate you. And it's like, what the heck just happened? We just had a really good conversation. Well, one word can just flip people off today. And that's because we don't understand what to do when we start to get frustrated. We're learning. You're frustrated? Lash out. Beat them. Hit them. Shoot them. Kill them. Whatever. It's okay. It's acceptable. Oh, you're mad? You're angry? Yeah, just go steal all the stuff out of the store. Just take it. Just take it. Just take whatever you want. You don't need to ask anybody. You just take it. You just do whatever you want to do. But and instead of like actually doing the right thing that we need to do, which is learn what to do with that anger. Learn to hold it in, not in a way that never express it, but hold it in to be able to make a wise decision of what to do with it and not just react and respond. That's what we're doing today is we're reactive, man. And when I see react, I'm telling you, this is pointless for me to make video after video showing. This is why the dog stuff is just, it's pointless for me because I can grab these dogs and make them look away. And that's the manipulation. Man, I just watched a video from a guy just to speak on facts, man. We're here as a animal trainer to train the human being how to get good. But that's never what we see on these videos. We see a trainer take a dog that's looking crazy, and then all of a sudden, the next 15 seconds of the video, the dog is like so perfect and pristine looking. That doesn't show the actual process of what's going on here. Because the main thing is we need to teach the person that owns the dog good. But for me, every dog I handle and have on my leash, they are all gonna look good every single time. Because I'm not reactive. I'm not like emotionally, I don't know what's going on. I'm not like quick to anger. When the dog's doing something, I mean, she slightly ran. It was I think it was yesterday. Yeah, literally right after I turned that video off that I made yesterday, man, there was like 10, it was a lot of deer, big, beautiful ones. Man, animals looking good this year around here. All the animals are eating good, man. This rain that we're just, I mean, just seeing that there's like actually still grasses and stuff here. It's just, it's incredible to me right now. I've never seen this living here. Everyone's eating good. And these deer were looking good, man. They were looking healthy, and they just was running straight down the path and then just took off on the side. And she went into she had a hesitation, which I was slightly, that's the part where I couldn't get mad. She had a hesitation, but then she just had this like, her body was already in motion, man. She was already running. So she took like 10 extra steps that I was actually designed for her. But still, she took those 10 steps, she stopped and she rethought a second, and I saw her look back at me. And that was the time right there that where 99.9% of people mess up. You get frustrated, you get angry, you get overexcited, you get something. I saw that scenario and I just looked back at her like, come here. And she's like, runs right back. I just like, okay, good job. No issue, nothing hostile. And that's why every single time that I keep telling her to hear anything that she's chasing squirrel, chasing cat, chasing mouse at this point today, chasing cow, chasing deer, chasing rabbit, chasing squirrel, chasing anything. I could just say, hey, Ophi, I want you over here now. And she's like, oh, okay. Because she's not getting that reactiveness out of me. And that's what the dogs need. But it's not only that, that's what we need. We need to see something, do something that is like, say, not correct. And we need to correct it in a way of being neutral. Not in a way of, I'm so mad at you, or I'm so excited, but neutral. That's how we teach. That's how we actually get stuff done. But when we're in these back and forths, you're living a hot mess right now. Thank you. What's up, girl? We never been back here. I know what you want. I'll let you go because I don't need to. It's just Oreo out here, I think. Let me double check that. All right, Oreo, you come here. You can go, Ophi. Oreo, you come here. Ophi, you can go. She wants to go find some bunnies. There's a bunch of them living. Because I haven't been running the dogs back mainly in any of the fields this year. I haven't ran any of the dogs much. When I constantly take them out and run them, there's like no bunnies. But when I don't let them back here for even like 2 months, not even like a month, the bunnies start coming back and they start burrowing and making babies, and that's what she's constantly always out here looking for is bunnies. She's Oreo, come here. She's not really the best at it. She needs one of the other dogs to find it, and then they find it, and then I'd let them chase them out here. I don't care. But she has to. It's just in her. She's like, I want to go find these bunnies, and that's how I've been able to like get a lot of that out because I let her do it. Granted, that's the part where I'm still gonna say this is hard. Is when you actually let them chase it. It's going to be more. That's the best way of putting it, people. It's going to be more work, but more fulfilling in the end. It's going to be a lot more work. But for me, I don't mind putting way more time into. I mean, these are my dogs, man. I like doing the best and the most that I can with them, and being able to give them the best experience, a whole fulfilled life. That's not what I have here. For some of the things that I do is not realistic for a lot of people. So if they're excited about the bunnies, I'll let her search for the bunnies and get to the bunny, and then I'll stand there and wait and wait and wait and wait. And well, she can't chase squirrels. I don't have much squirrels that live here. But she can't chase squirrel because I only see them in public, and I don't ever want her to chase them. I don't ever deer. I don't have deer here either, so she didn't chase no deer. But out or she don't chase bunny on the trails. They only chase here on the property. But I have that said luxury to do that. But it complicates it complicates things. Like it does. It adds another level of complexity. So if you live in a dense city and you don't have like I mean, this area here is only 2 acres. If you don't have an area like that to just be able to let your dog run, you don't let them. Just understand that the main thing I want to say behind that is how much you want to put into it is what you're going to get. That's the main thing that I'm going to just explain with that As much as you want to put in what you're looking for, the more that you put into what it is that you are looking for, the more results you are going to get. I don't know what you're looking for. I know what I'm looking for. I don't care if my dog sees a bunny on my property and my dog just takes off at it, because they don't jump the fence, they don't go through the fence, they don't dig under the fence, they just stop at the fence line and they're just like, oh, that was fun, that's cool, let's move on to the next. So I don't care about that. To you, that might be the most scary, dangerous thing. I don't know, but for me, I just don't I don't care. When I see that they're all right there, she's about to get close to one right now. I can see it because her search pattern starts to get real tight. So now she's staring at one. She's on it. So she's like, she knows that there's something in the ground right in front of her. It's just fascinating how she could do that whole pointing thing. That's why I might up her skills up for doing a little sniff of search work. But she'll get on it and then she'll wait, and then she waits. She does the same thing that Ori does when he moves the animal. She waits. She stays steady, and then she makes it move. And once it moves, chases on. Let's get going. But that's just, I don't care. I don't care. I don't know why, but I just don't care. And I can see that. I don't want to say that they're having fun or not, but it definitely seems that way. But that's just what I need. I don't know what you need. I don't know what you're looking for. And I know what I'm willing to put up with, and I know what I'm willing to deal with. For me, out in public, I'm just going to say that my rules are going to be much stricter in reality. You're not chasing nothing. It just is what it is. You may think that you want, but you're just not. That's me. That's what I'm looking for. I want to be able to go to the park, take my daughter out there, go on a swing set and just have the dog sit there or lay there and just hang out, and I can swing and know for a fact that even if a squirrel comes and just jumps on the back of her and takes off, that she is not taking off at it. That's what I'm looking for. But at home, if there's a squirrel right there, like, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm like, let's go get it. That's my term. That's how to activate her today. It's get it, get it, get it. Let's get it. Let's get it, get it. And she just takes off. She, she, it's fun. It's fun to see all the dogs work. And we're getting good with like doing this mouse hunting stuff. It was no good for a while because they're all trying to get it for themselves. But now they're starting to work as a team together. So now one will like get it from a tree, make it run down. They're starting to work together. And they're starting to get more success because they're working together. It's just the coolest thing to see. And it's just what I need. I don't know what you need.